Hey there, it's Josh coming to you with this week's Tarot Snapshot. This is a weekly video that I do every Sunday night, and this is about 10 minutes long. I won't go any longer than 10 minutes. Your time is valuable, and I want to make sure that I just don't ramble. This is a longer video than I normally do. Now, with that being said, I'm going to do something different with this Tarot Snapshot that I've never done before. Again, as a psychic, as an intuitive, you got to lean into the nudges that you get. So I am going to use this deck to give us the Tarot Snapshot. Before we do, though, I'm going to hold up these tarot cards. You can't see them. And I want you to consider them to be A, B, or C. Now bring your attention to these, and I will reveal them at the end of our little video here after I get done with the actual Tarot Snapshot. But let's talk about A, B, or C. There will be one out of these three that you feel drawn to. Now let's talk about that. Let's talk about which one you're drawn to. Go for a moment. Do you like A, do you like B, or do you like C? All right. So that being said, let's jump into the actual Tarot Snapshot, which is a 3-card reading. We take a look at where we're at in life. Take a look at what vexes and perplexes us. We take a look at what heals and reveals. So basically, where are we? What's our biggest challenge? What's our greatest guidance? I'm gonna shuffle the deck 5 times. I wanna get it to where the cards want to be. And don't know why I have to tell you this, but again, getting that push. This is the deck that I associate with what I call goddess energy. Now you might see a lot of roses around me. You'll see that I'm tattooed with roses. I do have a thing for Mary energy, the mother energy, the divine feminine energy. We're coming up on the winter solstice. In ancient times, the winter solstice was known as Mother's Night. The longest night, the shortest day, the celebration of the return of the sun, the S-U-N or the S-O-N, Mother's Night. It's a time that we would have honored the group of mothers in spirit, and I think it's appropriate to honor mothers in this world. Don't know why I have to tell you that, but research Mother's Night in the ancient traditions around the winter solstice. Now that being said, the first card that I select here represents us in this moment, and I'm getting guidance out of tarot and the wisdom that it brings as well. So who are we this week? 4 of Swords. I love it. Now, I love this rendition of the 4 of Swords because it shows a woman in a suit of knight's armor. I love that dichotomy because oftentimes when we hear the word knight, K-N-I-G-H-T, like a knight in shining armor, we often associate that with masculine energy, male energy. But I believe that there is no greater force in this world than that of a mother. Perhaps a father as well. Maybe it just comes down to love. But that energy of a mama bear, oof. I've never encountered anything stronger than that. My dad's a pretty strong guy. I had strong grandfathers. But I'll tell you, the one grandmother that I got to know and my mom, those 2 women are the strongest women I've ever met in my life. So we see the 4 of Swords, and to me, this is a card that indicates we should rest ourselves before we wreck ourselves. We're coming up on the week of Christmas. A lot of stress, a lot of turmoil, a lot going on for each and every one of us. We've got to make sure that we get our rest. And who deserves their rest? Mamas. And I love this. In the Eastern traditions, in the Buddhist traditions, or perhaps even the Hindu traditions, I believe the lotus represents the same thing in Western traditions that the rose represents. That love, that grace, that compassion. We can hold both of those dear. Love, grace, compassion. It doesn't require that we're passive, doesn't require that we're a doormat. And in fact, I believe our greatest strength can come from love. When we have to fight a battle or carry a burden for somebody that we love, we will find the strongest version of ourselves. That's why I believe mothers are the strongest people in this world. And I love how this card shows us that. But the knights need to rest, or they will suffer. They'll neglect themselves. And if the knight or the mother neglects themselves, the kingdom or the family suffers. correct? So let's make sure that we're sustaining ourselves. So our country, our kingdom, our family, our household, our business, all of that gets the best version of ourself. The card that vexes and perplexes us, we don't understand our own magic. We don't understand our own fire. That's the Queen of Wands, the witch queen, if you will. The power of belief, the power of will, the power of passion. We often don't harness that because oftentimes we're walking through life with fear and anxiety and worry. The card that heals and reveals, though, the Ace of Swords. I love it. The greatest strength we'll ever find in ourselves is when we fight from a place of love. Not worry, not fear, not self-hatred, but love. I don't want to offer any sort of hokey platitude here, but I know that love is the greatest strength and wisdom that we'll ever find. When we have to solve a problem for somebody we love, we're going to find the wisest version of ourselves. That's what love will give to us. All right, so remember that. Now this is the mind. This is communication. The sword represents the mind. We have to be skillful with our mind. We have to make sure that we're walking through life intellectually sound, walking through life in ways that we would want our children to. So important. So important. Okay. But let's go back to A, B, or C. Now, what I thought was cool, using two different tarot decks, I thought that perhaps we would get some crossover. I was shuffled these cards, pulled them, thought I'd shuffle these cards, pull them, and go, oh, wouldn't it be really cool if we had synchronicity? We don't. These three cards are separate and different. So let's talk about card A. Now, this is for the people who would have been drawn to card A. The Star card. This is a card of hope and healing. This is a card of the peace that comes after a storm in our life. The card prior to this in the major cards is the Tower. So to get to the Star, it's often said that we have to go through the Tower. If this was the card that you were drawn to, card A, I would give yourself some peace, some healing, some time by yourself. Very, very important. So important. Especially if you've recently been through some sort of conflict, turmoil, stress, trauma, and who hasn't, really? But if this is the one that you were guided to, remember to wish upon a star. Remember the power that there is in healing and in hope. Don't ever, ever give up hope. Card B. The Ace of Cups. The card of divine love. I do see this as the Holy Spirit. I do see the goddess energy, the mother energy as the Holy Spirit. If we hear Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, you're looking at Osiris and Isis and Horus. You're looking at the Father, the Mother, and the Son. Those are mythological and spiritual energies that predate Christianity. This is divine love. This is a gift of God. When you were drawn to this card, this is a reminder that you are an eternal fountain of love. To remember the power of your love and to bring it to those. Please remember that. If you were drawn to this card, it really does indicate that the power of your love is what is necessary in your life to get through. If you are drawn to card C, the Page of Pentacles, to me this is the card of the student. I'd encourage you to take a class. I'd encourage you to learn something. You know, sign up for a college course, sign up for an artistic course. One of the best things that I did this year for me, sign up for a clay class and sign up for a piano class. I'm 45. I'm learning new things. I am taking life by the horns. Learn, experience, and be taught by somebody that might know more than you. But be the perpetual student. Find something. We're almost into 2025. Set yourself goals. In Littleton here locally, there's a studio school, and that's where I took the clay class. One of the best things that I could have ever done for myself. So please remember that as you walk through the upcoming year. Love yourself, heal yourself, remember the power of your love, and maybe learn something new in the upcoming year. So, all my love to you. Be well, and thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.